I love small lights, so today I'm gonna compare over 50 of them. Well, hello there. Today we're going to talk about the most portable, lightweight, on-camera lights, battery-powered if possible, that are perfect for stuffing in your luggage when traveling. Now, you know those Channel 6 news crews when they go out on location and they do their filming? That's what they have. They have a light on the camera. That's what I mean by on-camera light, run and gun type stuff. Now, when I say on-camera, I mean that kind of loosely because I don't really like having a light on top of a camera. It's just kind of, you get that deer in the headlights look. It's kind of cheap lighting. I personally like to have the light, like if I'm filming something, I like to have the light in my hand up like this, off to the side. This is, for me, the lighting that I like when I run and gun. I do this. I don't like to have the light on the camera, so I still consider this on-camera light because it's really lightweight. By the way, this is my favorite camcorder, the Panasonic VX981. It comes with this shoe adapter here. It's a cold shoe. You stick it in the back, so now you can stick microphones or lights or anything on there. And here we go. Now I have a light on the back of this thing, but again, I don't like to have that. I like to be like this. So anyway, what I like to do when I shoot vlogs or things like me talking on location, I like to use a light stand like this. I actually like to use two light stands. I like to have at arm's reach, one there and one here at 45 degrees from my face. That gives me the best lighting. Now you can use one light if that's all you have, obviously, and put it like this above your head. Always have it above your forehead level, so it would be about like that. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so this is what I call on-camera lights. So let's go through everything that I could find out there in the world that is roughly this size, doesn't weigh much, battery powered if possible, portable, and fun, because this is my most fun subject in the world. Let's get on to it. We're going to review 55 different lights. Here we go. Yes, this is a lot of lights, but we're going to get through this really quick. Now, all of these were measured at 4 feet with a light meter at ISO 100/160th of a second. So we're going to compare all of these, starting with the dimmest one, which is this one here. It's the Godox LED 36. It has a light reading of 0.51, and we're going to go up from there. This is a great little light. It doesn't look like much, but it only weighs 4.7 ounces with the batteries and 3 ounces without the batteries. It uses AA batteries, which is great because if you really need to travel light, take the batteries out. Don't take any batteries with you, because this weighs nothing. It weighs 3 ounces with nothing in it. You can have 20 of these in your bag or your suitcase, and it doesn't add to your luggage weight. And then when you get to where you're going, you buy the AA batteries, which you can get at any corner store anywhere in the world. And this light, one of these lights is enough to light you up in your hotel room with a Zoom call, or if you're, vlogging or in a restaurant. I like to use 2 of them, but one light is more than enough to light up your face for something really close up like that. So this is our starting point, okay? Light meter reading of 0.51. It's $15, and that's the Godox LED 36. All right, moving on to the next one. This one has a light reading of 0.58. It's $39. It's a Godox LED P120C bicolor, 8.3 ounces, which is half a pound. It uses NP battery, and again, it's bicolor. So this is $39 for that one. Next one up, we have a light meter reading of 0.71, $35. Viltrox L116. It's also a bicolor. It's super easy to use. It has an on-off switch and a brightness dial. That's it. And you can push the brightness dial to change the color. I like this one. It's 9.7 ounces, and it's really flat. Look how flat that is. Great for traveling. NP battery. Next one up, we have a Yongnuo YN300 Air. This one, NP battery. This has a light meter reading of 0.72. It's $55. I like this one too, 9.1 ounces. It's extremely lightweight. That's why the word air is in the title. I love these things so much. Really flat, really cool. Next one up, we have a Pixel G2, light reading of 0.74, $60. Pretty expensive, but it's the size. Look how small this is. It's like a small cell phone. It's 5.9 ounces. Doesn't weigh very much at all. You can fit a bunch of these, and it has a built-in battery. So that's really cool for a small thing that it is. Now you can see the lights on here. Obviously, I like it when it's just one big flat surface like a softbox, but if you want small, you want small. All right, these two are I really like these ones here because the battery's built in. You just turn it on and it's on, and I like it because it's super flat. Look at that. There's no bulbs poking through. It's flat as a whole unit. The battery's built in, self-contained. It charges with USB. It's bicolor. And this is just, I love these lights. I mean, and it's a nice little mini softbox. They're really easy to use. They have a dial for brightness, a dial for color, and an on-off switch. This is a Raylino PLV S192, a light meter reading of 0.75. It's $50 and 1.4 pounds with the battery. This is exactly like this one, but this is by Neewer. This is an LL192 AI, inner battery built in, $60. So this is $10 more than this one for some reason. It's 1.4 pounds, has the battery built in, exact same thing. I really like these too. Now we go up one notch from the 36 LED Godox to a 64 LED Godox. Again, this one uses 4 AA batteries, so this is twice the size almost of the other one. This has a light meter reading of 0.78. The 36 had a light meter reading of 0.51. This has 0.78, so it's obviously more light coming out of it. Again, you can take the batteries out when you travel and buy the batteries when you get there. I really like that. And the other cool thing about these is you can stack them. I'll get to that in a minute. This is only $20, really cheap. Here's an interesting one by Torch. It's a TL50. This is a light meter reading of 1, and it's $60 to $80. You can't buy these new. They're used, but it's got a 1/4-20 thread on each side here and has a built-in battery. I didn't even know it had a built-in battery. The battery that's in here is the same battery that's in an RX 100, and there's 2 of them stacked together. It's not bicolor, but it's just an interesting little light. I don't know. I buy interesting stuff. You can only get it used, $60 to $80. It's 8.5 ounces, so it's half a pound, or you can put a 5-volt thing in here. It's okay, light meter reading 1. So with a one step up from there, light meter reading of 1.05. This is $140, uses 2 NP batteries. It's an iCan Onyx 240, 13.4 ounces. It's pretty cool, but I don't like the lights that poke through here, and it's pretty expensive. It's flat, but it uses 2 batteries, which is, anyway, not one of my favorites, but it's there. Next one up, we have a Godox LED P260C. It uses 2 NP batteries. It's a bicolor, light meter reading 1.06. It's $140, reduced down to $70. And the reason for that is when the light goes on, you see these little dots. It's like newspaper halftone print. I think people don't like that. I don't like it either. 2.2 pounds. It's kind of heavy. Not one of my favorites, so let's move on. Here's a Godox EZ30. This one is only 110 volts. There's no battery power with this, so you have to actually use 110 volts on it. It's a pretty good unit for what it is. The white is totally white, flat, but it's not battery powered. So again, it's not one of my favorites. 1.6 pounds. It's also kind of a little bit heavy. So let's move on. Now we have this one here, which is kind of like this one here that I showed you. Almost the exact same thing. It's by Generay. It's a UTP 60B. It comes with barn doors that are permanently attached, which I don't like, but it's $140. They lowered it to $70, just like the other one. It's exactly like the Onyx, but it's got black barn doors. Not one of my favorites, but it's okay. Next up, we have 2 Godox LED 64s stacked together. Now we're at a light meter reading of 1.07. So 2 of these is $20 a piece. That's $40. And again, when you're traveling with no batteries inside, this thing is really lightweight. And the more you stack together, the more light you have, but it's 9.2 ounces when it's empty. So it's basically half a pound with 2 of these stacked. Next, light meter reading up 1.08. We have a Godox LED 126, uses 1 NP battery. It has optional diffusion. It's 1.08 without the diffuser, 1.07 with the diffuser. So the diffuser really doesn't cut it down very much. And this is what it looks like when you have 2 of them lighting up your face, one on each side at 45 degrees. Oh, this is another cool thing about it. This one also uses an NP battery, but if you don't have an NP battery, you can use AA batteries. There's a secret compartment inside. You use a bunch of AA batteries in there. So you can use this anywhere in the world. That's kind of cool. All right, next up we have this one here. This one gives a nice soft flat light. You don't see any bulbs at all. I've only got one of these. I've got it at the end of my hand here, but it's big, so it's like a little mini softbox, and it gives you nice soft lighting. It's a Neewer 288 ARC panel. It uses 2 NP batteries or 110 volts. It's a light meter reading of 1.41. It's $90, 2.5 pounds. Nice, perfectly flat light. This is the biggest panel we have here today. It's a nice mini softbox. It's flat, 2 NP batteries. That's that one. Now here's an interesting one. I know you're going to laugh, but this is a light. You can stick this on your camera if you want with a clamp. It's a clamp light with a Phillips bulb that you can get at Home Depot or on Amazon. You get 2 of these bulbs for $10, so it's $5 per bulb, and the clamp light's like $6. So for under $20, you can have a light. The light meter reading is 1.42, $13 for the get up here, 12.4 ounces for the whole thing. It's a 16 watt light, which is 100 watt equivalent, 1600 lumens, 5000 K light level. portable. I actually made some videos with this thing. Right now, I've got one on this side of my face, one on this side of my face, and a third one coming from below. Yeah, you can laugh at this, but I did it and it works. Moving on, we have a Viltrox VL162T. This is a bicolor light, very lightweight. Light meter reading 1.42. It's $31, 7.8 ounces. Really lightweight, nice, kind of thick though, but it's cool. It's fun to use. Moving on, we now have 3 LED 64 stacked together, $20 a piece. So this is $60. Light meter reading is 1.43. It's 13.9 ounces, so you're still under a pound. Really cool. I mean, you could just stack these things in this direction. You can put them on the side. You can like take these, put them on the side if you want. So you can go in any direction you want to go with these things. So they're just so cool. You just keep stacking them. It's like an erector set of lights. $60 for these 3. Remember, the benefit of these, again, is they're super light. You can use AA batteries anywhere in the world. All right, next on we have this one here. This is a bigger one. It's pretty heavy, though. This is by Itotin. It's a LD P600 panel, light meter rating of 1.43. It's $100, 2.9 pounds, so it's almost 3 pounds. This is too heavy for me, but it gives a nice flat light. Really, really nice light. 2 NP batteries. It's just too heavy for me, so I don't like that one. Now, this one here is one of my favorites. Oh my God, I found this thing. I laughed at it. I didn't take it seriously, but my God, is it bright. It has a built-in hot shoe, a cold shoe mount here. You can put it on any camcorder. You push the button on the back to turn it on and off, and it has a little dial on the side here for making the brightness. And this is so cool. Check this out. You got little barn doors that you can you can close the whole thing off, or you can put like a diffuser on it. Or if you want to make it warm light, you put that one on there. And if you don't want this on there at all, this whole thing comes off so you can just have this light. This is an ICANN iLED MS Micro Spot. When it's just bare like this, it's 1.44 as a light meter reading. So this is actually brighter than this is. Believe it or not, this little thing is brighter than this. It's only $35. I love this thing. And it's only 3.9 ounces. The battery is built in. The only thing is they're not really daylight balanced, so you're going to just have to stick a pink gel over the front of it. No big deal. So here I have Roscoe number 3313 pink gels taped in front of these lights, and the camera's just set to basic daylight white balance, and it's looking pretty good. With the battery, it's only 3.9 ounces. These you have to plug into a wall, but they're super lightweight. It's just a super lightweight plastic. It's by B2 It's from AliExpress in China. 110 volts, super lightweight, nice flat light, really cheap. You push the button, it's daylight. You push the button again, it's tungsten. You push the button again, it's somewhere in between the two. Here it is on the daylight setting with the camera white balance set to daylight, and here it is the daylight setting with the camera set to 4400. $23, really cheap. Light meter reading at 1.44, and it's 1.2 pounds, so it's really lightweight, but it's 110 volts, which is no battery powered on that. Next up, we have the Viltrox, almost the same sizes, but this one can be battery powered with 2 NP batteries. It's a VL200T panel. It's bicolor, light meter reading of 1.45. It costs $65, and I like it. It's got a nice display on there. That's kind of nice for working the lights. But the thing I don't like about it is you can see the bulbs. I don't like that. That's something that sucks. But it's a good deal. I mean, $65 for this. I only have one of these right now, so I put it right here. It's a nice big surface and should look pretty good. It's really flat. It's the biggest battery powered one that you can get. That is this flat and lightweight and everything like that. So, anyway, there's that. All right, next up we have the Yidoblo M40. This one here, again, is a great little tiny light. It does have fan noise, and you can see the bulbs through here, but it's really small. You can pack 6 of these in a handbag easily. I like how small and lightweight these are. Got a built-in quarter 20 here that you can work. It's bicolor, $85. Light meter reading at 1.49, 11.5 ounces with the battery built in. Next up, we have something really interesting. This is a true on-camera light that you could see at the Channel 3 News using. This is a very professional light. It's not cheap. It's $260. The battery, it uses an NP battery on the back here. So that's cool. You can put an NP battery totally just clicking on the back and then replace them out as you need. So it's very professional. It has a brightness dial here. And this is cool. Check this out. You got your bare light, your kind of diffused in the high here, but then you've got your, this clamps on. So this makes it more of a focused beam. And then here you have your tungsten. If you want to warm it up, you can put both on at the same time. You got your barn doors, which are optional here. So this is this is literally what the news crews use on their camcorders when they're doing interviews on the street. Yeah, the guy came out of nowhere. He ran that way. He must have had like a 3-foot flame coming out of his rear end. This is an ID X10 Light S, light meter reading of 1.48. It's 15.3 ounces, so it's just under a pound. Not cheap though at $260. So that's something, and you can obviously use you can use a D-tap battery too on the side here if you want. So that's, here you can see D-tap. You can plug in a D-tap like professionals do. All right, moving on. This one here, we're getting brighter and brighter as we go. So everything up to this point, I would say, is for indoors. This is not something you can use outdoors. None of these up to this point are bright enough to really use outdoors. But now we're at the point where I guess we can start using these things for kind of outdoors if it's right in your face. All right, so next up we have the Neewer PT176S. It's daylight. This is not bicolor. The light meter reading is 1.48. That's bare, and it has an optional diffusion in here that you can stick in there, which turns it down to 1.44. It's $60, 6.7 ounces, really lightweight. All right, so here I am outside, super bright background, but I'm too dark. So let's turn on this little Neewer 176S or whatever it is, and here we go. Just one light. That's just one light. And now I have a face. I'm going to put this little diffusion thing over it. Let's see how much that darkens it. Doesn't really darken it that much, does it? So now it's a little more diffused. So yeah, this works pretty, tiny little thing works pretty darn good. I like how lightweight it is. This is a wonderful little thing to take. It's more powerful than anything I've showed you so far, and it's small and it's lightweight, and it just uses 1 NP battery. Now this one here, this is heavy duty. This is heavy. This is pretty, it's metal. This is metal. You can screw it so it has, you know, the Fresnel can make it more spot or wide. This is an Intelitech Pocket Cannon Mini. It's $129. The light meter reading goes from 1.46 to 2, depending on how much of a spotlight or wide you are. So I would say the average is 1.48. It has a dial on here and all that. It was $195. It's reduced now to $129. So it's actually not that expensive, but it's big and it's heavy. So that's the only thing. This is not, I mean, well, for me, this is big, and I guess the thing that I don't like about it is it's heavy. But it does have a thing on the back for NP batteries. So there you go, NP battery. See, it's working. All right, so here we are outside. My face is too dark. Let's turn on this light and see what it does. And there we go. It's okay. I mean, it's not blowing me away, and it's very heavy. So anyway, whatever. So this is another one of these kind of professional lights, just like this one here, like this one. But for lightweight, this is definitely not lightweight. Okay, now you might wonder what this thing is in here. This is a marker. If you were to use a Zhiyun X100 with an umbrella, which is what this is in the row of light readings. This is where we would be. If you use an X100 with a white umbrella, you would be at this point with the light. Everything I'm showing you up to now is just using the bare light. But this would be a light meter reading of 2. Okay, now we move on to this one here. This is a JL POW spotlight. Isn't that a funny name? JL POW. What this is actually is a light that they would use in discos to, I guess, to put onto a disco ball. It's a beam of light, and you can, it's 110 volts. There's no battery power. You have to plug into a wall. But here's the cool things about it. It comes with a remote. It's super cheap and it's super lightweight. I mean, this wing weighs nothing. 10.7 ounces. Has a light meter reading of 2. It's actually pretty bright. $29. $29 for this thing. Is so cheap. You screw this, that makes it obviously wider or narrower. And when you push this remote, you go from red, green, blue, and white. Really, really hot colors, like super pure blue, pure green, pure red. And it's only 10.7 ounces. It's super cheap, super light, and it's pretty bright. This thing literally weighs nothing. I attached I used a GoPro mount with a 1/4-20 thread. So you can literally screw this on top of anything that has a 1/4-20 thing and have a really nice, good beam of light with that thing that can actually go colors. Now this one here I showed in a previous video. I still like these because this thing is so lightweight. It's a 4-foot shop light that you can screw into any light socket. I like the fact that you can make a V out of it like this. So you have it just above you like this, and you get a nice wraparound light. This gives you really, really smooth glamour lighting. because what you're doing is you're taking the light and you're spreading it out in this big wide area around you. So you get this really nice wrap around, and it weighs nothing. This only weighs 11.2 ounces. That's less than this. So you're saying that's an on-camera light? Yes, actually it can be. You just have to be able to plug it into a wall. Remember, it only weighs 11.2 ounces, and you have some of the widest light you could ever have on a camera. So you get some really good light with this thing. That is glamour lighting from an on-camera light. It has a light meter reading of 2.01. It's only $23. When I mentioned this, they started selling out. It's an FEIT shop light. It goes 4 feet. It's a really great light to have, and it's amazing how lightweight this is. Here's a Godox LED LF308 silver barn doors, which really makes the light focus. This is the bicolor version. It has a light meter reading of 2.04. The total daylight version is 2.06, so it's a little bit brighter. This is $60. The bicolor version is $93. And this is what it looks like. This is the bicolor. This is the total daylight. I have both set at 5600. This one has diffusion. This one doesn't. This one's at 100%. This one's at 44%. They both weigh 1.1 pounds. They both take NP battery, 1 NP battery. Really easy to use. And they have the silver barn doors, which are not removable, unfortunately, but the silver helps focus, makes the light more focusable and stronger. So that's really cool. All right, so that's the Godox LF308. Now, what I did here is I took 3 of the little ICANN micro lights, and I put them together. I mounted them together to make 3 times the mount. So when you put 3 of these together, and I'm going to make a video about the types of things that connect lights together with like this, that have hot shoes or cold shoes. This makes this a light meter reading of 2.08. It's $100 because each one of these is about $30. It's 11.8 ounces, so it's still really lightweight. So this is brighter than one of these things. And the cool thing about these lights is you could stack 8 of these together in a very, very small space, and they weigh nothing, and the battery's built in. It's ready to go. You charge it with USB. 3 of these is like $100. All right, moving on. Now we have the Yongnuo YN300-3. This one is the upgraded version of the YN300 Air. It has silver barn doors, which concentrates the light. It has a diffuser, which you can take in or out. If it's when it's bare, the light meter reading is 2.81. When the diffusion's in, it's 2.08. It's a mild diffusion, and I gotta say, these lights are bright. They're really, really bright. So now we're getting into the lights that you can take outdoors. $77. I like this one. It's under a pound, 14.6 ounces. I like this one. Now here's an interesting one. This is really heavy. It looks really cool. It's a Sidandi Standard 30-watt RGB sun lamp, and it has, look at that intense focusing thing on there. You can move this in and out to make it wider or narrower. It's a USB power source. It's 30 watts, and it's RGB. So you click the button, it goes from red, blue, yellow, white. It creates a nice wide, even light. It's heavy though, 1.45 pounds on this thing. The meter reading is 2.83 and the spot setting, and 2.05 at the wide setting. But it's really well made, and it's $65. So it's really not bad. But it's heavy. So it's a cool device. It's just heavy. This thing here is much lighter. This is very similar to the Zhiyun 60 watt, but this is a Light 2 Photo, and it's also 60 watts. This is an RGB light. They also have a bicolor version. The bicolor version is $70. The RGB version is $90. It has 2 knobs on the back. This is only 14.6 ounces, and it has a light meter reading of 2.85. So it's getting up there. Cute little device. You can do it with USB or with wall power. Easy to use. There you go. Next up, we have a basic 8x8-inch LED panel. The light meter reading is 2.85, and it's 2 with the diffusion on. It's $140 for one of these things, 2 NP batteries, 2.4 pounds. It's big and it's heavy. I don't like big and heavy. All right, so moving on. Here's another version. It's very similar. This is the GVM version of that. Unfortunately, the barn doors, I think, are permanently attached to this thing, and they're black. I don't like black barn doors. I like silver ones because it concentrates the light more. Optional diffusion on here. This is $65 to $90, depending where you get it. Pretty fancy looking back. 2 NP batteries. 2.8 pounds, so this is almost 3 pounds. This is too heavy. It's too bulky. I'm not too crazy about it, but there you go. Now this one here, now we're talking. This is even brighter than this. This thing here is not as bright as this. This is a Core SWX Bolt Torch TL-BT250. They don't make these anymore, but you can buy them used. Light meter reading of 2.86 with a diffuser on it. They have an optional diffuser plate that makes it 1.46. I think they're like $250 used. It uses one NP battery on the back, and it's bicolor, so you have 2 dials for color and brightness. Really, really amazing, powerful light. I have like 6 of these things, and I've used them for years. For a small, powerful package, this is amazingly powerful. And again, it uses NP batteries, so it's universal. Great little thing to have, and they're out there. Next one up is a Yongnuo YN600L. It uses 2 batteries, NP batteries. It has a light meter reading of 4. If you put the mild diffusion on the front, which is, where is it here? The diffusion on the front, it goes down to 2.86. It's $100, so that's not too bad. 1.8 pounds, so it's still a little bit heavy though. It's a little bit heavy for me, so I'm not too crazy about this one. Next up, we have a Zhiyun X100 knockoff, which is a W100 by Colbor. It has a nice retro leathery handle grip on it here. You power it with 100-watt USB-C PD, or there's a handle battery that it comes with. I'm not too crazy about that, but it's just like an X100. The light meter reading is 4. It's $169. The X100 is $200 without the battery and $300 with the battery. So this costs less than the X100. They have a bicolor and they have a daylight version. The bicolor is $169 and the daylight version is $116, and it has a wider beam than the X100. It lights up a lot more surface area. It's 13.2 ounces, so it's more lightweight than the X100. It's kind of plasticky, but I don't care. I mean, it's lightweight. That's what I like. It's 1 stop less than the X100, but that's because it has a wider beam. All right, next up we have a BitLighter. This is a flashlight. They don't make these anymore because this was made in Ukraine. The company no longer exists, unfortunately, but you can get these on eBay and stuff. All I'm using is just 3 flashlights, one here, and one kind of over the camera there. And I have a reflector down here bouncing a little bit of light from below, which is just tin foil attached to some cardboard. So you can even use a couple of flashlights. It's a light meter reading of 4, and if you push it in and pull it out, well, that's spot and wide. At the widest, it's 2.04, and at the spot, it's a light meter reading of 4. They're not cheap though, $280, but you're paying for size and ease of use, and it's got a knob you can turn for the brightness of it, and it's got a nice focusing lens on the front. And I use these clamps here for just, it has a 1/4 3/8, so you just clamp that on there, and then you screw it into a light stand. All right, next up we have a Came TV Bolson F55 daylight. It comes with barn doors, and it has a focusing beam that you can bite. You pull it out like that, pull it in, that makes it wide or spot. These are $165, 2.3 pounds. Obviously, it's not very portable and it's not very lightweight, but it puts out a good amount of light. It's a light meter reading of 4 on the spot and 2.09 in the wide. And, you know, this is, I guess, more, I can picture a guy from Channel 6 News having one of these on top of his camcorder when he's doing an interview. So this is still an on-camera light if you were a news guy or something like that. This is, or you could have one, obviously, light stands. All right, now we're up to the small rig. This is a 60-watt RC60B bicolor, $170, 4.08 on a light meter reading, 1.6 pounds. It's still, it's cute. It's fun. I mean, it's all right. It's powered by USB. It does have a built-in battery. I don't know how long it lasts. That's pretty cool. Small rig, 170. Now we're getting on to my favorite stuff here. Here we have a well making. Now there's 2 of them. The earlier version is the blue ring. The newer version is the yellow ring. The earlier version is a little bit brighter, but it has louder fan noise. The newer one is the yellow ring. It's like half a stop less bright, but it doesn't make the fan noise that the earlier one does. I'm using my well makings here. Little portable travel lights that I love for doing vlogs. RX100 Mark 7. Taking this video. They're $240 a piece. The newer version has a light meter reading of 4.08. It weighs 15.2 ounces, so it's less than a pound. The older version is light meter reading of 5.6, and that takes us up to the Zhiyun G60. 13.2 ounces, $170. Pretty much the exact same light meter reading as this, except with this one, you need a USB-C PD power supply that you plug into this one here. This one is really cool because you put one of these batteries on here,
and it's ready to go. The battery's attached to the body. I love that. I love how the battery is just welded into the shape of this thing, and then when the battery runs out, you just switch it and put another one. Much easier to use than the battery system for the external USBs. So I like that about this. I love these lights. I got 6 of these. It also has a thing you turn for making it spot or wide, but I never use that. This is pretty portable. I like that. Okay, next one up, we have a Zhiyun X60. This is a little bit brighter than the G60, $200, and it uses one of the X100 batteries on there. It's 13.5 ounces. It has a light meter reading of 5.62. A nice little light, small, cool. I like it. It's nice. So this is $200. This one is $170. Okay, now we move up to one of the ones that I really like. This is the Yidoblo ZE-150BL. It's bicolor, and the bicolor range is pretty big. It goes from 2700 to 7500. It runs off a USB-C or 110 volts, and in which case you get a light meter reading of 4.02. But the cool thing about this one is it also takes NP batteries. Look at that thing on the side. You just put an NP battery in there and you're ready to go. And it's only one stop less when you use an NP battery as opposed to a PD, USB-C, or wall power. So with NP batteries, you can just run all day with this thing. Okay, so I'm outside in the shade. My face is too dark. Let's put a little tiny NP battery in this Yidoblo and see what happens. Whoa! And this is just a little NP battery. Of course, it would be brighter if I used a USB 100 watt battery. So let's do that. Let's hook up a 100 watt USB to the Yidoblo. I expose for the background. It looks really nice back there. I'm totally black. Let's turn it on. And this is what it looks like with the 100 watt USB on the Yidoblo. And it's definitely enough light to match the sunlight and keep the sky and everything exposed properly back there. I have enough light to match the sunlight. Really nice. Weighs the same as an X100. It has 15.5 ounces. This is $180, so it costs less than an X100, and I like it. It's got a rubberized texture. It's the Yidoblo ZE-150BL. Okay, now here's an interesting retro-looking one. It's the another Yidoblo ZE-150Bi. Obviously, that means it's bicolor. You have to use a USB-C power or wall power. Now, it says 150 watt. If you were to use a normal 100 watt USB power supply, you're not going to get 100% from this thing. You have to use a more powerful USB power supply that puts out 150 watts. But I found it's really not that much more light. And so it's $160. The amount of light you get from this thing when it's at 100% is 5.67 with the power adapter. If you use the 100 watt USB PD, you get 5.62 light level, which isn't really that much different. It looks cool. I mean, it's retro and all that, you know, fake leather and all that, but it's bulkier than any one of these other ones. You know, that's a lot bulkier. It looks cool, but if you're trying to be small and lightweight, the 150 versus the 100, it really isn't that much different. And you've got something bigger, and at $160, you're not saving any really money. So I mean, it's cute and everything, but it's not for me because it's just too thick. Now this one here, we're coming up on the X100 here. This is the one before it. Now there's one before and after this. This is the FEIDU FD100D. This is the bicolor version, and it has a really cool readout on the side here. It's powered off a USB-C PD power. The light level reading is 4.08 with this screw-on reflector. This is interesting. This reflector actually screws on, which is interesting, but so this isn't really that bright. This doesn't give off that much light. But notice it has a bowens mount. If you use this reflector right here, this is a Godox with a silver rim reflector. It comes with the VL150. If you put that on there, guess what? It goes from light meter reading of 4 to 8. So now you've got a powerful, powerful light. And it's $109. This is only $109. So it's pretty cheap and pretty light. And this is, and it's got bowens mount, which is really nice. So look at how small this is. Great value for the money. Bicolor. I wouldn't use this thing. I would get one of these. If you can fit this in your luggage. This gives you from F4 to F8. What a difference in the amount of light this puts out. So there you go. That's that one. Now, that's pretty much right up there with the X100. Here we are at the X100, of course, by Zhiyun. Light meter reading of 5.67. Remember, this one here with this reflector is 8. So this is 5.67. This is 8 if you use this reflector. This does not have bowens mount. This does not, so you're not going to get any brighter than that. This is $300 with a battery, $200 if you just use the wall power. This is a nice portable light, as you know, for what it is. I'm sure I already know about these. It has a battery that you can put on the side. They haven't been known to be too dependable, but you can use wall power, USB PD power on here, and it's very good light, very powerful to use. The Zhiyun X100. The next one up from that, we are now surpassing the X100. Now we're at the Dracast Bolt Ray. Now this looks big and bulky, I know, but it really isn't that much bigger than the small rig. What makes it look big is when you put the big reflector on the front. Dracast Bolt Ray Plus 800B Bi, a light meter reading of 8. It's $300 though, so it's not cheap. It uses 2 NP batteries on the back, which is great, or you can plug it in a wall right there. So it has the same output as the 100 does with 2 NP batteries. It's 2.5 pounds, so it's not very lightweight, and it's big. I mean, it's kind of big, especially when you put the reflector on it. And now we get onto this one. This is the exact same one as this one, except this is totally daylight. This is bicolor. Anytime you go from totally dedicated daylight, you're going to get a little bit brighter. So this is the most brightest one we have in the bunch here. This is the Square FEIDU FD100D. It's 8.06 when you use the big silver reflector on it, like that. And 5.6 if you use the screw-on reflector that it comes with. It's so cool. It has a screw-on reflector. That's kind of cool. The bicolor is $109. The daylight is only $86. So this is brighter than the X100. This is $200 without a battery. This is only $86. And it's look at that. It's a nice, and it uses real bowens mount. A real bowens mount. You can put softbox on this thing. So this is brighter than the X100, has a real bowens mount. I like this one. This is one of my favorites. It's got a nice readout on the side, nice heavy duty steel button on there. Easy to use, fun to use. Okay, so here's my favorite ones of everything I've showed you here. The Raylino and the Neewer that I showed you, that are exact same ones. I love these ones because the battery's built in, they're flat, they're just, that's all you need. Everything is right here. Everything you need is right there, and it's a nice flat light. I also like the Godox LED 64 because you can stack them together and do as many as you want and create like however big of a light that you want with it. And you can travel without the batteries being in there, so it's super lightweight, and then get the batteries when you're at location. I love that. I also like the Viltrox. This is a tiny little cute thing. You could stack 10 of these in your handbag or whatever it is you're using, and it's just small and it's portable. It uses 1 NP battery. I love this thing. I also like this one. And talk about lightweight. This thing is so lightweight. It's the Yongnuo YN300 Air. It's $55. This one's only $33. I love these things. They're 1 NP battery. I love stuff like this, and they're nice soft light. This one, the Neewer 288 ARC, it's the biggest one of the bunch. Nice, super flat light. You don't see any dots or LEDs or anything. Biggest one of the bunch. 2 NP batteries, easy to use. So if you want a bigger light service that's almost like a small softbox, but it's still portable, it's really flat, I like that one here. $90. This thing's $90, not even $100. This one here, the Viltrox VL, I like the 200T because it's big. I don't like the fact that it has dots, but I like the fact that it's lightweight and really flat, and it's only $65. I really like this one a lot. Obviously, I love these things here. I'm going to make some more videos about these. I love these so much. The ICANN micro spot. I mean, you can put them together like that, or just, you know, look how many you can fit of these in a suitcase. It's just amazing how tiny these are. You can have like 50 of them in a handbag, and they're pretty powerful, and they charge with USB. I love these things. I love them. And they're only $35 a piece, and they're super lightweight, and the battery's built in. I also like the Neewer here. This is really portable little package, super great. It's a good amount of light it puts out, and it only uses 1 NP battery. Really simple, really easy to use. I love the Neewer PT176S Daylight. Yongnuo YN303 silver barn doors. This is one of the biggest ones of this kind, where, you know, like this kind. $77. I really like this one because it's so easy, simple. I mean, it's basic. Now this one here, I know I said it was really heavy, and I don't think I'm going to realistically take this on any trips with me, but it's just so cool. I mean, this is heavy duty construction. The side dandy stander, it's just really well made, super well made. It's metal. I love playing with it and having it. It's a great toy. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I just love it. And the thing that I like about it is red, blue. You want super red, super blue, super yellow. Fill a room with a bunch of light. This thing is great for that because this is RGB. Obviously, the core, this thing here, if you can get one, I would get one. NP battery, and it's super bright, super compact. This packs a lot of punch, and it's actually the smallest of these whole bunch here for what it puts out, and it's bicolor. I like the BitLighter because it's a stick, it's a flashlight, really easy to use. I don't know, I like it for what it is. Well makings, obviously, I made enough videos about these. I like the fact that you can just stick a battery right on it. That's the whole package deal right there. No cords, no dangly stuff, nothing. This is it. That's the whole thing. I love that. I also like the G60 because it's cute. It's just a cute little thing. I love the packaging, and it's 60 watts. It's pretty bright, so I like that. And of course, the X60 just as much because it's a cute little package, and it puts out a bunch of light. Really nice. I like the Yidoblo ZE-150Bi because it has a NP battery. I love that. Obviously, everybody likes the X100, except it has the dangly USB thing, and the battery that goes on the side, it's kind of bulky and heavy and big. So that's why I like this one more because it has the NP battery on here. And then, of course, I like these two here. The Square FEIDU FD100. The daylight is more powerful, and it has a bowens mount. So with this kind of reflector on here, with a bowens mount, it is brighter than the X100. And when look at the actual size of it, it's not that much bigger. I mean, not that much bigger than the X100. I like these. So these are my favorite ones. And that's it. I tried to go through this as fast as I could. But I just love lights like this. I love little portable battery-powered lights that you can stick on a camera or stick on a light stand, and you have two of them. You just take two of these things at 45 degrees like that, and you got really nice soft lighting, one on each side of you at 45 degrees above forehead level, and you get great lighting. So I love lights. I like lights more than cameras. Lights and light stands. Those are my favorite things to play with. So I hope you got something out of this because this is a true joy for me to play with. We're going to go see my mom in next week. And I'm going to take some of these with me and play with them on the farm where obviously I have to be able to use portable battery-powered stuff. So come with me on the journey. In the meantime, I hope you got something out of this. And all right, there's my world of lights. Little lights. I like little lightweight portable battery-powered things. If I said that already, I think I did. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.